Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Just wanted to introduce James McInnes to all the participants here on the webinar. He's going to be walking through the investor presentation that you see on your screen there, and we'll follow up after the presentation with a Q&A session with him. James, take it away.
Great. Thank you, Sri, for the intro. Well, thanks everyone for joining. I'm super excited today to talk about all things Odd. And just a reminder that we're publicly traded. We're on the TSXV under the ticker Odd, on the OTCQB under ODDAF, and on the FTSE on IA9. So yeah, check out our tickers and here's just a disclaimer. Always good to read this before making investment decisions, of course. So for anyone that's not familiar with Odd Burger, Odd Burger is Canada's first vegan fast food chain, and we are really growing through an innovative franchising model. But the franchising model is, of course, not the only thing that we're innovating. And as you'll find through this presentation, we are doing many things very differently. And this is what Odd Burger is all about. This is what really encompasses the word odd, is thinking differently, doing things differently to make change and to disrupt, really a problematic industry. So for starters, Odd Burger really is focused on sustainability. This is such a huge issue now with the environment and with our greenhouse gas emissions. So our menu is as sustainable as it gets. We're 100% plant-based. Our packaging is all compostable. We use super efficient cooking equipment. Our materials are sustainably sourced. So this really is a core of what we do is our sustainability initiatives, because really what we're here to do is to make a positive environmental impact. We're also, highly automated. This is another thing that's different about us. I'm a technology expert. My background is in computer science. That's what my degree was in. And it really is part of my passion. So outside of course, food. So a lot of what we do in our restaurant is very high tech. Our restaurant equipment is largely automated, which means you can run it with as little as one person, which is super cool. We have very small footprint, less than 1,000 square feet. This is also great, more affordable build costs, lower rent, etc. For franchisees. So really, we're designed to be an owner-operator business. So that means that the franchisee is operating the business. They're there every day, working the store and meeting their customers and providing, exceptional service. And of course, the franchising is the way that we're growing. This is unique in that not a lot of other vegan chains are growing through our franchising model. So really, we really did focus on franchise growth many years ago. And, today this is, exceptionally important because, it is an asset-light, truly asset-light growth model where, franchisees are building the restaurants, they're building the businesses, and we're helping them with that. So franchising is how we're rapidly growing in Canada, the US, and internationally. Another thing that is unique about us is that we make all of our own food, and we do this through our manufacturing subsidiary called Preposterous Foods. And this is where we make, different proteins and sauces that are used at our restaurants, and also that will soon be available at external institutions, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And the last thing is our Odd Stock program. So this really is the innovating franchising model I was referring to above. And this gives franchisees the ability to become shareholders in Odd Burger, which is really, really cool. Something that you're not going to find with any other franchising company out there, to my knowledge. But really the idea here is that we align the franchisees' interests and our interests, Odd Burger corporate, together so that we really are working together to create change and to run a successful business. But of course, really, it is all about the food. So the food is something that we have really perfected for many years. And if looking at these images to the right is making me hungry, hopefully it's making you hungry too. But really, we really focus on making iconic fast food. We don't just invent any sort of menu item. We're really trying to invent the fast food menu items in, North America or in India or in Europe that resonate with the people of that territory. So really our menu is kind of adaptive. Right now, obviously, our menu is focused on a North American fast food diet. So you'll see, Famous Burger, as you can see in the bottom left picture there. You'll see kind of loaded fries, things that people love and crave here. So, and really our concept is broad. We have a full range, including breakfast, milkshakes, burgers, fries, wraps. And the key here is that we do it at comparable prices to other fast food chains. So pricing is hugely important, and we are within $1 of most other fast food chains, which is really important for accessibility. And of course, Odd Burger is for everyone. You don't have to be vegan to love the food. Most of our customers aren't vegan. They just, love what we're doing. They love the food, and they just want to support us and eat here all the time. So that really is our target market. And speaking of the market, the vegan fast food market is large and growing, but it is part of the global fast food market, which is expected to reach 1.4 trillion by 2028. Even the vegan food market, which includes CPG and some other things, is still growing. Although there's been a little bit of slowdown, but it is still expected to reach 91 billion by 2027. But the key point here is that if you look at the vegan fast food market, it is a kind of a smaller niche market. It is something that not everyone's doing, and according to all the studies, it is growing at nearly twice the rate of the total fast food market, the traditional fast food market. So that is significant that the growth rate is taking off. It's because consumers are seeking it, and even myself, before I started Odd Burger, I wasn't eating a lot of fast food. I just didn't like the quality of the ingredients. I didn't like the mission of the companies and their ethics. And really, there's a lot of customers out there that aren't eating fast food that will eat fast food again. And those are the customers that will come to Odd Burger. So of course, what is really wrong with fast food anyway? What is the problem? I think if you look at the fast food industry, it's known to be one of the worst industries in the world, for the environment and our health. And the issue is that fast food is made from highly processed, factory farmed animal protein. We're cutting down rainforests to grow food for cattle, doing all sorts of crazy things to support an unsustainable industry. So, for example, it takes over twice the greenhouse gas emissions to produce the comparable plant-based equivalent. So that's a lot more. There's a huge amount of land usage and biodiversity loss. Obviously, major health concerns. It's high in cholesterol, saturated fat, low in fiber. There's increased risk of cancer, diabetes, and heart disease from all that processed meat. It's really labeled a class 3 carcinogen by WHO. So, a lot of known health concerns with fast food, and of course, ethical issues like we kill 80 billion land animals a year for food. It is just not sustainable and has to change. And this is really what we're here to do. So, Odd Burger really began as a personal health journey. So, it began for me with I had been diagnosed with high blood pressure. I was searching for solutions. This was back in 2013. How am I going to turn my health around? I didn't consider myself an unhealthy person. I wasn't eating a lot of fried food. I was kind of watching what I eat, but I was still eating a lot of meat and cheese and all that kind of stuff. So I really went plant-based and went vegan. Had a huge turnaround in my health within just 30 to 60 days. And I was so amazed by that transformation that I wanted the world to experience this. And this is where it started. It started really as my passion to get other people to become healthier and to recognize that the sustainability of the food that we eat is important. So we started as Globally Local. This was a produce distribution business. We were making our own food at our market. And we were making like veggie burgers because at the time it was hard to find a good veggie burger. And we started, a food truck, and the food truck business really took off. People loved, the famous burger. And we sold out at festivals all over Ontario. So we knew that there was a demand there that really wasn't being serviced. And this is what brought us to open Canada's first vegan fast food restaurant in 2016. In 2017, we opened the world's first 24-hour drive-through. So we really were the early trailblazers in the vegan fast food revolution. And we really, and to this day still are, the ones that are really leading that charge. Fast forward to 2021, we went public on the TSXV and we rebranded Odd Burger, for all the reasons I said above, really represented our belief in that, we really want to do things differently. And it really conveyed to the customer that we really were like a fast food chain. Again, a very important part of our story is that rebrand. Odd Burger today has 9 operational locations. 7 of those are corporate owned, 2 are franchised. Our average restaurant does 508,000 in revenue. Right now, we have 15 locations in active development. So these are signed franchise agreements. About 9 of those are under active construction. That means that they have a site selected and they are, putting up balls and all that kind of stuff. So very exciting. Those stores are going to start opening next month. So we'll keep an eye on our news releases and social media for that. And in our development pipeline, we have over 100 locations that have been committed to in US and Canada. So these are, again, contractual commitments through our area representative agreements. So this means that people have purchased the right to develop territories, and there's over 100 locations that they've committed to develop over the next 8 years. And we recently signed a deal for 150 locations in India, Singapore. So that's our first international deal. So again, very, very exciting. And together, that's 250 locations that are already committed to. So as I kind of said, our locations, they're small, they're affordable. We have incredible cooking technology. We can cook our burger patties in under a minute. And if you look at the way traditional fast food works, the food is typically in hot holding. So means your burger may have been made 40 minutes ago. By the time you get it on your burger, it's far from fresh. So really our goal is to use the technology to deliver, fresher food, better food, made to order. It's what customers want. And something that we've always focused on. And again, the cooking automation is something that we're very passionate about continuing to build. Our goal is to have full automation within 2 years. So that means that our restaurants will be fully autonomous. We're currently working with an amazing robotics company here to develop some cool stuff. So, and again, part of the goal of that will be to increase output and really make franchisees more of a technology investor in us than necessarily just an operator. So, huge potential with that. Right now, we use all self-checkout kiosks, and again, simple to operate. You can run with as little as one person. We have, of course, an awesome mobile app for our customers that they can earn rewards and order ahead of time. When you look at our franchise revenue streams, there's two really types of revenue here. We have our startup fees, and that includes a $35,000 franchise fee. As I mentioned above, up to half of that franchise fee, the franchisee can put into the Oddstock program. So essentially they're investing half of that in us if they want to. And we also get a 5 to 10% development fee. This is for us to help the franchisee develop their site and design it, et cetera. So that's a one-time fee. Once the franchisee is open, then we go into the recurring revenue model. So the total of that is about 27% of gross sales come back to us as a revenue stream. So that's around 136,000 Canadian per year per location in revenue. So you can just see as you add 10, 20, 50, 100, 500 locations, kind of where that math goes. Royalties are 5% of gross sales, 25,000 a year. Our ad fund is 22.5%. That's around 13,000. That ad fund really is there to be spent 100% back on franchise advertising, growing the brand. And then the big part here is Preposterous food purchases. So again, I said that we have this incredible vertically integrated supply chain, and almost $100,000 a year of food is purchased from franchisees to Preposterous. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Preposterous now. So as I said before, we produce a number of plant-based proteins and sauces. So we make 12 proteins and 8 sauces. And the key here is that the food is made primarily from simple and natural ingredients, including chickpeas, wheats, beans, oats, things that our customers can understand. We've always found that our customers have preferred more simpler, more natural ingredients. So not your Beyond Meat, not your Impossible, not your engineered food, really food made from ingredients we can understand. And really our focus is on that allergy market. So we have a nut-free product line. We have a lot of gluten-free and soy-free options. So we really are that place for anyone with that's a dairy intolerance or a nut intolerance, feels comfortable eating. And it's amazing seeing that 2-year-old kid eating their first sauce or ice cream and when they're allergic to dairy. So hugely rewarding for us, and I think there's obviously a huge market here. And the types of proteins you're going to see, we have chicken tenders, wings, chicken fillets, beefy ground, breakfast sausage, gyro meat, bacon bits, bacon strips, cheese sauce, ranch, sour cream, and these things have tremendous potential, not just at Odd Burger, but also outside of Odd Burger, at schools, hospitals, institutions. And this is part of our core growth strategy with involving AES food sales, that we really are ready to now get our food in other places, not just at Odd Burger restaurants, but at other types of institutions. So a lot of potential there. I'm not going to go into too much detail how we make it, but we use the specialized a former, and really it really creates these uniquely shaped proteins. So you can see here in the top that every piece of chicken or every burger is unique in shape. And it really gives a much more premium appearance to our food. And this is only made with 5 ingredients. So again, we're able to do this through our unique manufacturing methodologies, not necessarily by just putting all these ingredients in. So sometimes you can get to you can still get a great texture and flavor by just doing things in a better way, and that's kind of how we've done this. And then our distribution partner right now is with Sysco. We are going to be probably bringing on more distributors, but right now Sysco is where we distribute our food to, and where the Odd Burger restaurants buy it from. We have over 20 products listed. We're in distribution points in Ontario and Alberta, but as we open up more Odd Burgers, we kind of we add those distribution centers. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how we're growing, and I mean I did mention already about the Odd Stock program, but I guess I'll just mention one more thing about it, is that franchisees typically don't receive any benefit from their franchise fee. They pay a fee to the franchisor, and the franchisor is like, great, thank you. You can open a restaurant or a concept under our brand. So so the question really here is there a better way? Because a lot of the fees too get paid to franchise brokers. So franchise brokers charge up to 50% fee in commission to franchisors for getting a sale. So and franchisees are not really incentivized to work directly with a franchisor, because you're not seeing any benefit anyway. So we really kind of thought, is there a better way? Is there a way that we can bring franchisees together with franchisors to minimize our reliance on brokers, and really to keep more of the money in the hands of the franchisee in the form of an investment, right? And this is where the Odd Stock program came in. And the Odd Stock program obviously is optional. We're finding that most franchisees, of course, want to use it. But the franchisee can invest either in private placement if we have one active, or in the open market. So you can imagine the incredible potential of that, where we're signing up hundreds or thousands of franchisees, and all these franchisees are making open market purchases. There's just the tremendous potential there for investors, and I think it's really important to think about that. We launched the program in February. It was hugely successful. We had $500,000 in franchises being purchased during that time. By comparison, we only collected $350,000 franchise fees were all last year. So again, a huge boost because of that program. And again, franchisees are excited about it. They see the benefits, and they really incentivizes them, because we're now all in the same team. We're working together. And our success is their success, just like all other shareholders. So we're so excited about growing this program. And again, the core way, as I mentioned before, is that we're growing with the help of developers. So Odd Burger ourselves, we are not selling to individual franchisees. We're just selling territory development rights. And these developers, really they get a share of the royalties, the share of the franchise fees, the share of the development fees. It's a great business for these developers. They can also participate in the Odd Stock program, and developers purchase the territory from us. We're currently selling territories at a rate of $10,000 per million people. So you can just pick your favorite state. Let's say a state like Florida, 21 million people or so. That's a $210,000 US development fee. Once they have the development fee, then of course they are going to develop the territory, and we also receive franchise fees after that point. So, and developers, really, the reason we did this is because we really wanted people on the ground, people that knew the market, the local market, people that could support their franchisees, have that relationship. It's so important, I think, and this is why we chose this method of growth. Our expansion strategy so far has been very successful. So we have signed 3 development deals, 2 for 76 locations in Canada and 1 for 20 locations in Washington State that we just signed last week. So that was our first U.S. franchise development deal that we signed. So extremely exciting. We're getting a lot of interest for other states as well. And now those territory developers are going to start developing that territory and building those 20 locations. So tremendous opportunity for them. And we also signed our first master franchise agreement in India for 150 locations in that region. So again, very, very exciting on the international front as well. If you look at the competitive landscape, there's some great vegan fast food chains out there. Major fast food chains are also incorporating plant-based options. And if you look at some of the fast food chains, they're still raising at impressive valuations. I think Next Level Burger just did a raise at 100 million valuation. So if you look at where our market cap is, I think you'll probably see this tremendous value there. We are we have our own manufacturing facility. None of these chains do, to my knowledge. We are way ahead in franchising and our franchise development, which takes an incredible amount of time to develop those processes and put all the training together. And again, this will help us to grow in the future. So we really see that we're way ahead of many of these other chains because frankly we've been doing it so long. And fast food chains, again, they have issues as well. It's challenging for them to put plant-based menu items on their menu. There's cross contamination. There's errors. There's a lot of lost trust with fast food chains. They're trying, but there's a lot of challenges that they have to come to be successful, I think. If you look at our historical performance, we had a fantastic year last year. Revenue of nearly 3 million. This is an increase of 115% over the year before. So that's just a huge growth in a single year, and we're continuing to see that growth. Even this quarter, we did 750,000 compared to 641. 16.7% increase. But we're really going to see a lot more growth as our franchises open up, coming this summer. Gross profit of 169,000 with a gross margin of 22.6% of sales. Again, really important metrics as we drive towards our goal of being profitable within 12 months. So, as more franchises open, you can just see how that revenue stream just builds up. I'm not going to talk too much about our executive team, but we have an exceptional board. I invite you to check out their bios online. And I'll just sort of end here with a brief investment highlights. On the product side, we have more natural ingredients, less processed. We have our own proprietary protein and sauce formulations that we're going to be getting out there in the world to other institutions. Huge growth potential. Our in-house manufacturing keeps a lot of that profit in-house. We are very allergen friendly, so gluten-free, dairy-free, nut-free type of environment, and really caters to that type of clientele. No cross contamination with animal products, unlike other chains, and our food's made to order and are minute. So again, really, really fresh food, which people love. Our stores are compact, affordable, and very high tech. You can operate them with as little as 1 staff, and we're expanding through our franchise model. The vegan fast food market is growing and obviously at twice the rate as the total fast food industry, which is really key for us. And we have a very, very unique odd stock program, totally unique to the franchise industry, revolutionary for franchisees, really going to change a lot of how franchisees and franchisors interact with each other, and having so many franchisees as shareholders is so exciting for us. And that's it. Thank you very much, and we invite you join the revolution. And if you have any questions, you can feel free to put it in the chat. I can answer a few now. I know we're running a little short in time, but if we don't get to your question, please email me at invest@oddburger.com. I'd be happy to answer it over email or have a chat one-on-one anytime. Always available to answer any questions. Thank you very much.
Just give them a minute, James, to see if anybody can type in the questions.
Yeah, I mean, one point that was made in the Q&A here, someone just kind of saying, crazy excited about Odd Burger. You're an investor. Thank you very much. We're excited to have you as an investor. You don't eat fast food, but like you said in the presentation, there's a large community of people who do not eat fast food, but will if they have the right odd option. And that's true. There's so many people out there that stop eating fast food, and if you look at the crowd that go to Chipotle or these types of healthier chains, I mean, a lot of those people are those types of customers, and I think we really hit that traditional fast food craving though. It's something different, right? And I think it's hugely important point there. So yeah, if there's is there any other questions, or Sri, maybe do you have a question that you wanted to ask, while people
Um,
just collect their thoughts?
I think, definitely if any of the investors in the stock are interested, you know, it's done a bit of a 180 here from about a month ago, and I think it's just a function of the market and realizing that the value's there. Um, you are one of the few remaining in the food sector in Canada over the last couple of years and performing. So I think you're starting to see a lot of people realize the work you're doing, James, and
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
learning more about it.
Well, listen, we really run I would say, a tight operation. We're small and an awesome team, and I think that's the key here, right? Is the ability of your team, and I like to think that we're making good decisions. So I think the market's kind of recognizing that, maybe, and just understanding that we're just a great company to be involved with. There's a question here in the Q&A. Someone
Yeah,
asked me, are you expanding too quickly? Improving yourself in Canada. Well, I mean, the thing is, you have to remember that the expansions take time, right? Like we signed a deal, today, and in somewhere it's at least 6 months before we open that spot. And really, the way that the rollout is happening in Canada, it's kind of going to start happening one or two a month, starting next month. So I think I'm not worried about our expansion, and I think we're ready for it. We spent years getting ready for this, so I really think we have what it takes to pull this off.
James, just two more questions over there
Yeah.
that you can see. Um, One is in regards to will your manufacturing facility supply the U.S. markets? Any supply chain concerns given the challenges the pandemic created?
So we're still evaluating our supply strategy, and as we grow, it could change, and whether we bring in some co-packers or not, or we just expand our current manufacturing facility. Right now, we have capacity for 40 plus 50, restaurants, so we have plenty of supply capacity left. But again, we'll have to see. We are always very data driven, and we are always very mindful of doing things the right way. So, but certainly we are able to supply the U.S. right now. And I guess someone just asked another question. Will you be raising more capital soon, issue more stock? So we actually, just so everyone knows, we do have an active convertible debenture offering, active right now. So we're not doing a private placement, but we do have this debenture. So I really encourage anyone that wants to learn more, please reach out to me, and I can tell you more about it, and show you the subscription agreement for that. So I'm happy to share that. And I guess the last question here is, I'm an investor in Victoria. When is Vic store opening? Our Victoria store, we're just waiting for permit approval. So right now, the drawings are in. They were in some time ago, and so that's coming up right up here. So we're just a little bit over our time here, and I guess I'll just wrap things up here. But again, as I mentioned, if anyone wants to email a question in, happy to answer anything. And thank you, Sri, for just helping to host the event. And thanks everyone for coming out. I really appreciate it, and we're excited to build a very odd future. So we're super happy to have everyone by our side. Thank you very much.
Thank
Have a
you,
great
James.
yeah, and have a
Thanks,
great day.
everyone.
Thanks, everyone.